So the border gore is about to get serious here, and I can already start to see it. I'm sure you guys are already starting to see it. We've seen a little bit of it, but I think it's going to get really, really ugly here on out. So I might just have to shield my eyes at times because this is going to get ridiculous. If any kids are watching this below the age of 13, that's me, I'm talking to myself, please cover your eyes if you can't handle it, because it's going to get... Woo, it's going to get ugly. But like I've talked about, I think, oh, geez, it just got really ugly with Sweden grabbing this other colony. Again, towards the end of the game, though, you'd be surprised. I will say you'd be pretty surprised. Oh, Spain's also got this island out here in the Atlantic. It will clean itself out because the AI kind of doesn't like border gore either. And usually, like all the colonies in Africa, which I wish I could actually consider them a colony, but all these colonies in Africa, I think they're going to get eaten up, or someone is going to take the power. It might be Spain, actually, but yeah, someone is going to take the power away from a lot of this stuff, and it'll look better. But it's going to be this long, probably 200 years of just really, really ugly borders. But Austria in the last video got very messed up, and I feel very bad for them because they're completely landlocked. They can't really do anything about it, and Florence is allied to them. Oh, Florence, you better not do that, because you might get called into a very serious war. Oh, that's so unfortunate for Austria, because they really have nowhere to run. They can't do anything. They need to pick up some alliances, maybe stay alive that way, and just try to fight their way out towards the coast so they can colonize. But a lot of these colonies are already gone. A lot of it. I mean, most of the coast is completely gone almost. Celts are doing a good job at continuing to provide power to the Celtic Canadian region, as well as New England. They're providing even more than ever before. So we're going to see some big colonies. I think these colonies are going to be really big, except for, I don't know, France, the French Columbia region is, I don't know. I know that France is having difficulty, I think, in colonizing, and I don't know if they have difficulties in, I don't know, their money, but they should really invest more, like the way England is doing. England's investing heavily in colonization, and that's the smart thing to do. England's probably half the size of Napoleon, but Napoleon is just not colonizing for some reason. I think they've got a few. I mean, they have like 3 colonists out here, I guess, but it just seems like it's just taken them a long time. Maybe it's, okay, they've got 4. So maybe it's just because they started the game off late, but England's going hardcore, and I think she's barely even investing in an army because Elizabeth is just so focused in on colonization of both North America and South America. So are there any other wars going on? No, it's been a pretty peaceful time. That last video was probably the biggest video we've seen so far in terms of wars. I mean, it certainly won't be the biggest, but for now, up until this point in the game, it was probably the biggest. There was a huge, just massive war against pretty much before Austria and Denmark. Denmark got off a lot easier, though, than Austria did. Way easier. And then, yeah, like we talked about, I think a lot of the border gore is going to come from Zulu and Egypt, as well as kind of the African powers, the Middle Eastern powers, I guess I should say. Arabia, who knows if Assyria starts to maybe colonize out this way. This is not a colony either. I don't know whether... So they're focused on the Arabian Peninsula. I don't even see them. They don't have any colonies up. So I think, they've got 1, 2. Oh, they've got a few. Okay. I'm wondering how bad their economy is. That's what makes me wonder. Like when I see a nation kind of not colonize as much as maybe we think that they should, I'm wondering if that's because their economy just can't sustain it. So now it's reverse, where Sweden now has the opportunity of grabbing, boom, this land right here. Someone, it could even be Byzantium. Could you imagine that? Boom. If someone, either Sweden or Byzantium, starts to colonize this province here, then Catherine's screwed. She has no place to go, and she'll pretty much be Austria. She will not have anywhere else to go, and all it takes is one province. Actually, even this one too. It's probably more likely that this province here gets colonized by either Theodora or Sweden, and then boom, Catherine's locked. And I don't know if it's because she's been getting into a lot of wars and she had to kind of stop her progress of colonization, but Sweden has no opportunity of stopping. Byzantium, I think, is going to be fine. Persia even has a chance of coming back. I cannot believe the resurrection of the Persian Empire. Darius has done a great job. I mean, he was doing really bad for a long time. I thought they were going to be the first civ eliminated. When Babylon and Assyria both teamed up against Persia, I was like, oh, they're gone. But they have been doing an amazing and incredible job at continuing to colonize to the east, and they've somehow stayed alive. And they have themselves some pretty good alliances so far with the Ottomans, Egypt, the Arabian Empire, and, well, that's it so far. But no, they've been doing a great job. Carthage is continuing to go down the middle of... Oh, who is this? Oh, now Morocco's taking up some territory. Ooh, kind of blocking off Florence there. It's about time, Morocco. You should have gone for the New World, though. Oh, they have. All right, Morocco. I like to see that. I love seeing that. That's what I'm hoping for. I was hoping that Morocco would be involved in it a bit more. Let's check the ledger again. Okay, so we have one war going on. Currently, it's the Arabian Empire versus the Ethiopians, and oh my goodness, it is already very, very successful for both Harun al-Rashid and Ramses. Ethiopia probably won't survive this one. I mean, obviously, they won't survive this war. I mean, I should be more specific. They will survive at the end of this war, but I don't know. I mean, are they continuing to colonize? Is that why they're staying alive? Yeah. They're still somewhat finding ways to colonize. So that's part of the reason why I think they're staying alive. But yeah, they have pretty much... Oh, the war ended. Oh, wow, that was fast. Let's see here. Yeah, so I think they only took about one or two. They took about 2 or 3 provinces away, but still, Arabia's dipping more and more into Ethiopian territory. They didn't take. They could have taken a lot more. So if Arabia could have taken a lot more from Ethiopia, if they should be happy that more like worse damage wasn't made. It could have been much worse. Again, I'm waiting for Iberia to clean itself up because I know that will be only a matter of time. A few more decades, I'm sure Iberia will be completely cleaned out of both Portugal, Rome, and England. I'm sure. Someone needs to colonize this province. Hopefully it's Spain, but Spain's to focus on Africa for now, so I guess we're done with wars. Let's go ahead and double check on army sizes. It's been a while since we checked on this. Poland currently number 1. Wow, super at number 1 at 71,000 men. They don't have too much manpower, but it's fine because they've got a lot of truces with most people. They're also allied to the Russians, and that's part of the reason. Oh, they're not anymore. They were. They're allied to Sweden. Sweden looks, I think, deceptively powerful, but they're not as powerful, I think, as we all think. We could probably just look in the ledger and look at it right now. I mean, how far is the Swedish army down here? Yeah, look, Sweden's all the way down. They only have 21,000 men. I know they look like a big empire, but they're really not. Even if Sweden colonizes all the way out here towards the Pacific Ocean, if they just stay up north and just grab this stuff, they are going to look a lot stronger for the rest of the game than they actually are. They don't, this stuff's not very valuable up here. So we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. But again, like I said, Poland is very strong in the middle of Europe, which is good. They kind of need that because they don't really have any other option right now. France is number 2 at 60,000. Not anywhere close to the Polish force limit, though. Spain at 62,000. France and Spain, I believe, are still allied to each other. Yes, they are. And then we have the Russians at 44,000. And the Netherlands at 41,000, Ottoman at 37,000. Force limit, the best is, Poland, France, Russia, Spain. And then the Netherlands. I don't know why I have such difficulty sometimes saying that. No current wars. Okay, so very peaceful time. I like it. It gives us time to kind of wrap our head around stats and stuff like that. So total, currently Venice is still winning the naval game, but we've talked about this. It only really matters about heavy ships. That's kind of the big important factor here. Force limit, the biggest force limit is still with Rome, but England is getting closer and closer to surpassing them, at least in force limit. I mean, because Rome only has 2 ships. They might have the most force limit, but they only have 2 ships. And that's because they got themselves into some pretty sticky wars with their southern and northern fronts. Both of them, they made some pretty poor choices, or I guess they got unlucky. Some of them declared war on Augustus, so that was a problem too. Greece is doing very good in navies, so that's kind of good for them because they've been in a sticky situation as well. Byzantium's got some power, and they've got some land power too. So it's kind of an interesting thing there. Still no wars. I just always want to check on that because that's my big thing. Let's go ahead and check score over time. Oh, no, not that one. I want score comparison. So far, number 1 is still France. Then it's Venice at number 2. Then it's Poland. I agree with Poland at 3. I would say Poland should even be maybe 1 or 2 up. They're not too far behind. Well, I mean, people are very, very far behind France. Poland should surpass Venice, I think, pretty soon. Venice doesn't really have any other place to colonize, but neither does Poland. Austria is falling in strength further and further. I agree that the Netherlands should be up there. Spain should be up there. And then everything else, I'm not sure. Again, this is going to work itself out. I always just kind of like looking at this sort of stuff. I'm sure that we're going to see the Venetians fall from that second spot, I think, sooner than we think. I mean, because who is Venice allied to? Well, they're allied to Poland, so that is something. Yeah, they are allied to Poland. France is allied to Germany. Interesting, because I know France and William do not like each other. They really don't like each other. Any more colonization news? Yeah, I mean, William is going just crazy with his colonization here. And it's so weird because he's got so much colonial distance. It's insane how far he's able to colonize. I mean, he's all the way up this way, and he's colonizing like almost the southern tip of South America. That is pretty fascinating. Also, what is this? Who is this? That is Assyria. Oh, they did. They managed to do it. They went around towards the eastern part of the Indian coast. Wow. Well, good for them. I was going to say, that looked like a slightly different color. Although the border gore is going to get even worse. Wow, the Huns should be so thankful that they're still alive. Their truce with Poland has been up for a while. They are allied to Egypt, but I don't think that really worries... Well, the Huns are allied to also the Ottomans. So Poland... Oh, Poland's in a war now. Now, what kind of war is this? This was a offensive war. Let's see. Offensive war by... Dang, it's a big one. And they called in all their alliances. A lot of these are colonial nations, so it's not as big as we think. So Sweden is trying to kick the Celts out of Scandinavia, and that would fix a lot of the gore for us. So I'm kind of... I like the Celts, but I do kind of want to also kind of see a cleaner border by it at some point. So I'm somewhat rooting for Sweden here. They called in there a huge alliance. Poland's in on their side, as well as Riga, as well as England. More than likely, I think this is going to be a definite war. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how both Germany and William team up against the massive Polish army. Let's watch. I mean, you know what? I don't think they're going to unify their armies soon enough. I mean, there's a big battle going on here. Wow. And this was actually the attacker was William and Bismarck. So that's not good. He's getting a crossing penalty and a terrain penalty. Well, the crossing penalty went away. So that's good. They must have got a new general in on there. Poland's just got some crazy numbers, though. Pretty good general for William. Way better general. That's part of the reason why he stayed in that battle for so long, but there it goes. I think... Oh, who's going to win this? This is getting close. I'd be so surprised if Poland loses. Oh, yeah, no, they won. They're still sitting there as a success. Does Poland have any... No, Poland has no claims. They're just helping support their ally. This is going to completely keep William and Bismarck preoccupied. More than likely, they will not be able to help out their ally of the Celts. And England is going to mess up the Celts from the south. How about in terms of... We always have to check the New World now. Because the New World could be a completely different scenario. Now that there's these colonies going on, I mean, who knows? The New World's always going to be different. Ooh, what's going on here? I didn't even realize they reached all the way down towards Florida already. Elizabeth's colony is just huge. Huge. I'm surprised that she hasn't continued to reinforce English Brazil. Let's check on Liberty Desire. It's been a while since we checked on this. Only 41%. Yeah, they're fine. 0 with the Netherlands. France has got 8%. So it is pretty significant, I will say. Those English colonies are feeling it. They're feeling the heat. They want the peace. As well as I'm sure Canada's might form at some point. Pretty sure of that. So what's going on here in Ireland? What are we seeing here? Celtic peasants. And this is bad because the Celts only have... Oh, okay, well, they're going to go take them down, it looks like. Yeah, they probably are going to win this. Yep, that's a win. Even with the terrain penalty, they're doing just fine. Oh, man, poor Celts. I'm surprised they've made it this long, though. How's Poland doing? Poland's pushing further and further into German territory. I don't think that Poland's going to take anything away from Germany, so they might end up surviving this. I think it's mainly just between Sweden and the Celts. I think that's the only exchange of lands that we might possibly see. The Netherlands are doing a pretty good job. Where is the Polish army at, actually? Here's Sweden helping them out. Does Sweden even have... Oh, yeah, they grabbed it. So Sweden now coming from the north, helping to provide some supports to the Polish military. Here's a big battle going on. Slightly big battle. The offensive person is William. And he's going to win it, though. Yep, he's going to win it. Landslide. They've got an awesome, awesome general. He's a king, actually. He's the king of... This is William. This is Alexander. This is the king currently of... I guess I wish I could change their names around. That'd be awesome to change the ruler's name around. But he's a 423. That's part of the reason I think that's going to keep William alive for a while. Oh, they got reinforcements, though. Uh-oh. Wow. That just exchanged hands. Because I think it was that Riga that reinforced? It might have been Riga that did a lot of the reinforcements. Riga's a pretty good city-state. Really liking... Riga's been very, very successful as a city-state. Let's just see if they survive, though. So yeah, Poland and now Sweden are both pushing into Bismarck's territory. That is not good. Any more wars that are going on? Yes, there it is, Babylon. The war for Babylon. We also have France going after England. Ooh. They've only called in French Columbia. I know I didn't say that right technically. But anyone else? Sweden, Florence. Florence might push Napoleon back. That's not a big deal. I don't know why. Oh, this is for this. I'm guessing for this province here. That's why they declared the war. Yes. No, for Cornwall. No, they're trying to make a landing in the British Isles. Probably not the smartest move. Yeah, that's probably not the smartest move. So the Persians were the ones to declare the war on Babylon. They called in the Ottomans, Egypt, and the Arabian Empire. Assyria has backed up their friend. I mean, Assyria's been such a good friend. They eventually have got to annul that treaty, though. You are too powerful, Assyria. You got to leave some of your weaker friends behind at some point if you ever want to survive this campaign. Anything else that's going on? No new colonies, it looks like. No one in Japan or Australia. No one's blocked off Russia. Russia has a chance. You know, they might get lucky. Catherine might get really, really lucky. No one might block her off. Because she'd have nothing. She would only be able to. She'd have to break through somebody with a big war. That's the only way. Dang, the West Indies are doing a great job. Wow. Yeah, the Netherlands West Indies are just boom dominating New England. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, where's their army at? Oh, well, the Celts are helping out too. The Celts in Canada are also helping out significantly. I think part of the reason is they had a huge navy. So when they had that support, that was the big deal. I also can't wait to see what's going on with French Columbia. I imagine what's going on with the English armies. Why are they so weak? Here's Spain helping out quite a bit. Is some of this stuff, is this all English territory? Yeah, it is. Just very similar to the Spanish color, though. England, Brazil is very similar to Spanish pink. Wow, where'd they come from? We'll have to see what gets lost here. I imagine some things. Let's check the ledger again. So we've got 40 war score. Persia should definitely beat... Well, that was a given. We knew about that. Sweden's got 22 war score. I think they're going to be able to get that province up north in Scandinavia. And then nothing too much. No real new developments from France versus England. It is kind of a mess. Oh, they're focusing on Florence. That's smart. And both Spain and France, Isabella and Napoleon have done their job. They grabbed these English territories. I wouldn't be surprised if these get removed. Now they're both kind of ganging up on Florence, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Florence. I apologize. Oh my goodness. All of modern-day Scotland is under English control. The Celts barely put up even a fight. Like, there's nothing there. How's Poland doing? Hey, what's Austria doing? Now, Austria joined in. Austria joined in on their side, but Spain didn't. Spain got out of the war, so Spain separate peaced. They didn't take anything away, I don't think, from England. Yeah, Portugal's doing an okay job. They're continuing to colonize. Oh, yeah, look at that, getting thick little colony from Morocco. I'm sorry, not Portugal, Morocco, continuing to colonize. So Isabella pieced out. Now, somehow, England called upon their ally Austria. I'm assuming that maybe that truce has finally ended. The Austrian truce with France has ended, and that's part of the reason why, which is going to stop the invasion of Florence. They might have saved Florence, and without their buddy here, without Napoleon's buddy of Isabella, this is going to be a tough war for France. Very, very tough war. Oh yeah, they're in a weird situation. Yep, there goes Sweden. Sweden grabbed it, and also Poland did manage to take something away from Germany. They took one province away. Wow. Poland, what's your aggressive expansion like? So yeah, Austria really doesn't like you. You took way too much away from Austria, but that's it. You're doing fine. I'm assuming it's because you're allied to a lot of these nations that surround you. Is that right? No, you're not. You used to be. I know that Poland and Russia used to be allied. How does Poland and Russia feel now towards each other? Oh, they're rivals. Oh, perfect. That's going to be an interesting one. Russia, I don't think, is ready to take on Poland just yet, though. Definitely not. Oh, and this war has ended. England's taken at least one province from the Celts. Yeah, just one, I think. And that's just a strange one to take. I think this was their capital, wasn't it? Wasn't that formerly their capital, I think? So now the Celts were forced to separate peace. So I think it's just France might be in a bad spot. A very, very bad spot. Fighting just too many enemies at once. Since Austria joined in, that makes it complicated. Actually, maybe Austria was involved. Maybe I just was smoking crack. And I think that maybe, is Persia going for 100% war score here? Or do they just peace out? They just peaced out right now. Okay, so now the Persian and Egyptian borders are now touching. Egypt grabbed this random little tile inside of Egyptian territory from Babylon. But again, Babylon and Nebuchadnezzar has that happen again. This is probably going to go. I'm assuming. Well, actually, no. The Ottomans didn't take anything, did they? No, they did. The Ottomans did take something. They took away at least one. Yeah, they took away one. Oh my gosh, you've got so many cores, man. Babylon, that's not good. Assyria annulled their treaty with Babylon. Yep, it's about time. Assyria is done with Babylon. They're gonna get completely eaten up. We'll see who gets a lot of that power right here in the Middle East. These are some pretty okay provinces to grab, so it'll be interesting to see how that develops and how that part of the world develops. Who is this? Spain. This will be pretty fun to see exactly who did the right thing here. Spain not going after the New World and not getting up that colony, or was it and going after Africa and like provinces that should stay on their side? Anyways, guys, I'm gonna have to stop right there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.